it's my pleasure to invite our today's EdTech Lounge speaker, and she is Dr. Sadia Masood. Dr. Sadia Masood is a faculty member in the Department of Medicine at Al Khan University. She is assistant professor and section head dermatology. She's also chair postgraduate medical education committee. Dr. Sadia has developed various online learning courses. She was part of our blended learning program, and she has a special interest in virtual learning strategies. Welcome, Dr. Sadia Masood. Over to you.
Thank you, Azra. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm Dr. Sadia Masood. I'm dermatologist, section head dermatology. Today, I'm going to share my experience of virtual learning with all of you. I think I'm just going to move through all the things which I have done and what I have learned, what lesson I have learned through all these years. So, we start with online learning courses that I have developed and what's the rationale behind these courses, and what is the teaching during the turbulence which we all are facing. What is the change during these time, and then what is virtual patient and how we are going to manage the asynchronous teaching, and then we will move toward the conclusion. So the first online undergraduate module. I first developed the undergraduate module in 2009. That was the first undergraduate online module. It was developed on Moodle. We used the blended learning strategy, and we used different learning resources and had the discussion board. We asked the student to upload their assignment. We have given some online quizzes. They can able to upload the presentation. We upload the schedules, curriculum, everything on the undergraduate module. And the best thing about the module, the student can navigate their activities. Teacher can navigate, and whenever I tell them that I am able to know that when you log in and when how long you were in this session, so they were very interesting, and they thought it a very innovative strategy. I'm just talking this in 2009 when there was no undergraduate module, so that was a different thing for student too. So this is our online module. This is the page of our online learning module. Um, since 2009, we are regularly updating this module. It's still running for our undergraduate students. So this is the page of, this is available on virtual learning environment. Initially it was on Moodle, now it's on VLE. And then you can see different options available. They can, the interesting thing is we can switch the role. I can be a student, I can see how the module will look like to the student, and I can be a teacher. So the role switch option is for the admin. So these are few quizzes I developed. Initially, I just made self-assessment quizzes through PowerPoint presentation. Initially, I was not able to know how we can make different quizzes, so I just made these type of quizzes on PowerPoint and PDF. Like this is the quiz. The patient have different type of skin lesion. Either you can identify these are comedone, something. These are different terms, and they have to know what is the type of acne. So in the next question, we have given the answer, but they went through the case, the investigation, and everything gradually. So this is the second thing we develop. We develop online quizzes, and these are the navigation of the quizzes. This is also for the module of undergraduate, that gradually with the passage of time we change the thing. I learned a lot from this first module. The opportunity is the student gave a very good response. It was a good learning source for students. They enjoyed the learning strategy. And at the time when I joined AKU in 2009, I was just the only full-time faculty. The problem was we don't have enough teaching faculty. So I developed this module that the student would be actively participate in the teaching. So the lack of faculty issue resolved very well through this module. And it was a student-centered activity. And but I faced few challenges. The learner engagement. Sometimes I think the learner, they are not able to engage. They form some activities very boring. Um, Internet access was an issue, and the student initially it was just accessible on campus. They were not able to access from their home, from their other devices. So that were few problems identified. I was just thinking how I can change, what are the things I can manage, what are the things I can introduce to a new module. So I was part of blended learning cohort 2014 and 2015. This is a long module that learned me a lot. Um, from basic things about how to present, a presentation tool, up to how to make a video. All the things I learned from this course. That is long, extensive, I think 8-month course, but it was very well organized. And Azra was leading the course, but it was, I think I would recommend it all of you just to, if you are interested and you want to learn skill about online learning, that you should opt for this course. This is a very well organized course, and all the things whatever you want to learn, you can learn effectively. And whenever you master this course, then nothing would be difficult for you. You can develop everything after that. It's my experience. So I developed a second online course, but that is for postgraduate. The teaching of postgraduate is a bit different than the undergraduate. They usually don't have enough time. The strategy for postgraduates is different. And for dermatology, that is an important subspecialty of internal medicine. And we want all the residents to attend our regular large class format sessions. But the resident have few limitations. We did a focus group study with resident, program director, and chief resident, and they mentioned the time management is a big issue. They are not able to manage their time between their clinical services. They are not able to attend these sessions, and the sessions they don't think are very engaging for them. And sometimes in the long lecture based, the knowledge is not properly gained. There is a lack of knowledge retention. So I designed a course with the team of a blended learning team, with Azra and all the other team members. I started storyboard initial instructional design was made on MS Word. We use interactive content was developed on content authoring software, articulate storyline. And we gave the importance to copyright. There was nothing that copy pasted from Google. We took the picture of our own patient, because whenever you are going to develop a course, you have to sign a copyright adhere form that is available from library. That is part of designing a course. We captured the photos of our patient. We took the consent of the patient. We developed our own video about how to examine a patient. We devised at Learning Resource Center. We use illustrated text, recorded videos, some asynchronous recorded videos, audio narrations, and we made few quizzes within them. So this is the second course. This is dermatology made easy. As you could see, this is the picture of skin, and these are different type of modules where they can move around. So in this module, you could see this is a picture of skin. This is simple. Either if you could see these are structure of the skin, but we made some interactive activity. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. If the student would click 1, then it would a paragraph will appear about what it is, and that would be in the form of narration. And then they would know, okay, what it is, what is the function, how it's working, everything. Similarly, these are the picture of the patient. Whenever they would click one picture, that would enlarge, that would zoom in with all the features, what is the condition, how clinically it present, what are the treatment modalities available. The main thing, we want to keep pictures of our own patient, because on Google you would see a lot of pictures and everything, but in our own context, the presentation is different. The patient present in a different way. The color, our color is different. Our skin type is different. So we need something local. So this is the first kind of module that is available online for our postgraduates. Another activity, you could see this is sort of jigsaw puzzle. Jigsaw puzzle, the structure of skin, 1, 2, 3, 4, either they would connect this to this one, and if it's wrong, it would come back. And unless and until they would complete, they would not enter to the next slide. So this was the activity the student liked a lot. They always give a good comment and everything. So similarly, this is a picture quiz. If they could not able to answer, this is the wrong answer, then they would get the information that what it is, how clinically it is presenting. So it's a self-assessment type of module. So I did a study. I just because initially someone asked the question in this EdTech lounge, do we have any online study? I did a study to compare the modality of online learning with traditional learning strategies. The objectives were to measure the difference in the knowledge and clinical diagnostic skills of medicine resident going through traditional and blended learning strategy and explore the difference in the perception and attitude of the resident. So I'm just going quickly about the study. We did a pre-test, post-it. In the pre-test, you could see the result of the both groups were the same. But in the post-test, the blended learning, the results were statistically significant for the student who went through the blended learning. These were about the question about the learning environment, and you could see the learning environment. It also found to be statistically significant, good result with blended learning strategy. So it's the first kind of its study at national level. We use different methodology, qualitative and quantitative research, and then if, this research we can do the future research about involvement of other institute to get a better overlook about this strategy. But again, there are few challenges. Opportunities, it was admired by the faculty, resident, everyone. It was very interactive sessions, active learning strategy, effective time management strategy, because the resident, they need the good management strategy for their learning. We had some asynchronous strategies, but challenges, again, few challenges I noticed, because the clinical reasoning skill, critical thinking skill, that is not going to be judged here because we are checking different um, skills, but this is the thing which I think that was lacking. And then I was just thinking what we need to do next to overcome this challenge. I was just working on different strategies, but then uh, again the COVID-19 turbulence came and everything suddenly changed. And then what were the issues? The issues were everyone was connecting, internet connectivity issues, especially for the patient, for the faculty, or for the student which we have to teach, but they are in the remote areas. Sometimes remote areas are not accessible, they have not good internet connection. And the other issue, faculty, student, they were not prepared. And then the third thing that I was just thinking that how to teach decision making and clinical reasoning skills to these students. So I thought to develop a virtual patient. Different virtual patient, cyber patient available online, but we need to develop our own patient with our own skin type, our own skin lesion. So I thought I checked the virtual patient is very effective teaching strategy to assess the clinical reasoning and critical thinking skills. So I thought the challenges I face that I need to overcome through development of a virtual patient. And the virtual patient usually have a good potential for interprofessional education and for collaborative learning. This is a very good strategy. So we started developing a virtual patient. So virtual patient is a type of video, but I'm just showing you the small screenshots. This is the patient who, uh, the student, they have to learn their instruction, what they need to do. So this is a patient who noticed a rash, and the friend asked just to go to a doctor and show your rash to a doctor. Now this is the patient came to AKU. Now these are our clinic area. This is the, you could see this is the clinical area, the real clinic area, but we introduced these virtual uh, characters here. And then these are the registration desk. Then patient went to for assessment. This is our assessment area. These are the assessment record of the patient. Then this is the waiting area. Patient is waiting for his turn. When the room will be empty, patient will enter in the room. So see, these are all the real scenarios we are developing for the better understanding of our student. If they are not coming to the clinic, then they have, then how they have to overcome this lack of clinical reasoning skills. This is scenario. Okay, you are going to enter the room, you are going to meet Mr. XYZ, you have to examine, take the history, and then go relevant things. She is our medical student. She's just telling about, I'm going to, my name is Sarah, and I'm asking about some questions. So this is our clinic area. This is real scenario. So we are not developed completely. So I just gave you a just small overview. These are, and then when the patient would move forward, then they would see what are the different type of clinical scenarios, and then different branching and everything. So they would move toward diagnosis, differential diagnosis, investigation, management, and counseling. So this is a thing which is in the process. So maybe whenever I will develop, I can share my result of this study with you in future. So the other issue I faced is asynchronous teaching. I introduced asynchronous teaching. The few of the patient or few of our physician, because I'm not just doing the undergraduate teaching, I'm planning to do some teaching for our general practitioners who are outreach, who want to learn about the basic skills. So for that, I was just thinking to plan a webinar. But they have unstable internet connections. They are in the remote area. They are not accessible. They are not comfortable with these Zoom and all these strategies. So how we need to cater all of them. So either we can use a PowerPoint presentation. We can share the PowerPoint presentation. Second, we can do PDF file format and share with them. We can do video recording. Video recording could be video calls through the QuickTime in MacBook, or Movie Maker in Windows, or Camtasia would be an option. We can do a podcast through the Google Audios. We can do online video recording, different sites, as Panopto is an option. So on the PowerPoint, there is an option available that you can record your audio with your slides. This is one option we can opt. We did this in our online module. So this can be done whenever you think your student have an issue, they have time bound, they are not able to attend the online session, then we can record like this. The second is we can record our video along with our PowerPoint presentation. Then the student will feel the real look of that the teacher is teaching in front of them. We can do a podcast, just record the message and record whatever we want to tell them, and then we post it somewhere. So how to store and share? How we need to share? There are different strategies. Either we can share to iCloud, CloudShare, OneDrive by Microsoft. We can share through the Dropbox. We can share through the Google Drive. 15 GB free data is available. We can go through the email, and another strategy, YouTube channels. Most of the people, they are sharing, they are making the YouTube channels and sharing their presentation and everything through the YouTube channel. That is a good strategy whenever, if we want to share, and whatever, if we want to share the message, if we want to teach, then these are options available. This is another option, WeTransfer. This is free. software, we can use this for larger files. We can use the WeTransfer. So these are different things. If we try to use for asynchronous teaching, when we think that the student, they are not able to connect with us, we can use all these options. This is the last slide. Uh, I just discussed about various teaching and learning strategies. Now, um, gamification or assessment, because every time this question is how you are going to assess your student. Assessment could be, mostly it's difficult at this time, but to do something is better than to do nothing. So Kahoot, we are using Kahoot for every gaming activity, and every time the student like this activity. So this is a very good activity to make your student engage. Similarly, like the Kahoot, there is Quiznet, another software available. This is free of cost. You can use this. Nearpod. Nearpod is a very good teaching activity. Either we can share the presentation, we can share a question with the student, we can share these quizzes and everything. So Nearpod has variety of options available. It is another good teaching strategy and assessment strategy. Socrative is a software where we can develop the quizzes and the question, and we can give all the student at the same time. That is a better way to assess the student. uh, all these strategies are different strategies. They are not 100% replacing the face-to-face interaction, but these are some strategies that I explore, and I find that these are some good strategies. We need to use them. We need to explore these strategies. So the last slide is teaching and learning strategies after pandemic. What is going to change whenever we are away from this pandemic? Inshallah, I think that time will come soon, but the teaching and learning would be changed after some time. So what would be the change? The change is the teaching and learning strategy. That would be, the teaching would be more innovative, the more innovative ideas, because uh, uh, I was attended the few last EdTech launch, and I was saying that people are using different strategies, online TBL, online other different strategies. These are very innovative, and that would bring innovation for in the field of medical education. Sorry. Similarly, the other thing is blended learning. Blended learning, I think the blended learning, it would take the lead of all the possible modalities, because next, after COVID, we would prefer to offer this teaching learning strategy. Then the other are virtual learning. Virtual learning would be priority for every institution. Um, Now the boundaries and the distance, they would not matter. We can learn whenever we want to learn. We need more enthusiasm, more passion for the teaching and learning. So everything would be transformed. There is a transformation of the traditional learning strategies. So COVID would teach us different lesson, and the one lesson, the teaching would not be the same as it was before the COVID. Thank you very much.